Good morning, students. Today we will start the new subject with the new chapter named as the concept of economics and the significance of the statistics in economics. Let I introduce what is actually this. Now, let me start. It is the introduction parts of the concept of economics and the statistics in economics. The concept of economics, it concludes with a comprehensive view of the importance of statistics, why statistics is studied in economics. Now, let us start. Every individual ranging from a child to an old man, it means that if we are born at the primary ages, that we engaged in the every economic activities with the other activities. But for the child age, consumption is an important economic activity because we all are consumers, consuming different goods and services for the satisfaction of our want. Because every man has their own desire. Desire, what is this? This desire is known as economics. The satisfaction is known as economics. But when we go for the cardinal activities, if we count any activities, if we are observing any activities, that will be known as the statistics. If I tell you 4 persons are there and they are consuming the 4 mango, what is that? Is called the 16 mangoes they are eating. They are not eating only, they are also satisfying to themselves. It is known as economics. But if we are counting the number of mangoes, how many mangoes they have eaten, in how many hours they are eating something, it is known as the statistics. Means the range between the two things, it is known as the economics. The data, numerical expression or quantitative information is economic. The study of man is ordinary business of life. It means everyone are engaged in some and all the activities. Now let me start. What is consumer? Who is consumer? And what is consumption? Consumption actually is belong to the consumer. A consumer is one who consumes goods and services for the satisfaction of his wants, is known as the consumer. Consumption is the process of using up utility value of goods and services for the direct satisfaction of our want. Utility of goods mean inherent capacity of goods and services to satisfy human wants, known as the consumption. Because consumption is also an economic activity. Who is producer? A producer is a person who sells goods and services to satisfy his profit. Productions, a producer. The producer is only engaged in the generation of income, who generate the income. But what about the productions? Productions is the process of converting raw material into useful things. This becomes useful as they acquire utility value in the process of productions. Productions is also an important economic activity, and many of us are producers engaged in the productions of different goods and the services for the generation of income. What is service holder? Service holder, known as who save his money, who invest his money. When a person are in a job working for some other person and he get remuneration for it, it is a part of the economy. It is a part of statistics. It is a part of income who is not only consumed, it is an act of the abstinence from consumption. But what about the investment? It is the expenditure by the producer on the purchase of such assets which help to generate income. Consumer, producers, service holder, saver and investor all are engaged in the diverse economic activities Economic activities include consumption, production, saving, investment, and many more. But before that, let I tell you what is economic activity. Economic activity means are always scarce in relation to our want. Imagine yourself as the richest person on the earth. Suppose you are the richest person on the earth, still you can't have everything you wish to have at a point of time. It implies the scarcity of your means, resources in relation to your want. According to the Alfred Marshall, engage in diverse economic activities, we are performing ordinary business of life. A great propounder of the modern economics been stated by the Alfred Marshall. He has defined the study of mankind in the ordinary business of life. Now let me start the basic economic activities: productions, consumption, exchange, and the distributions. But before that, let I tell you, scarcity is the undercurrent economic problem and therefore of economics. Why? Because resources are always scarce in relation to our want. Also, resources have alternative uses. Suppose if you have 10 rupee in your pocket and you may be spent on a cup of tea, on a cold drink. Likewise, a worker may render his services in factory rather than B and C, because resources are scarce and have alternative uses. Economic is essentially the study of economic problems that we must confront owing to the fact that our means are scarce in relation to our want, and that means have the alternative uses. Let me start the major point of the productions, consumption, exchange, and the distribution. The productions, the process producing goods and services to satisfy the human needs. What is productions? Productions. Producers also have the limited means, while they have a wide range of goods and services to choose from their firm and factories. You seen that video that two workers are mount an engine into a chassis of a Ford model that was put together at earlier points on the assembly line. The development on the production line in the Ford motor plant was one of the key factors in the evolution of the modern forms of the industrial productions. The producers does the work at the given prices of the different inputs. How they choose such combination which are the least expensive so that they are able to minimize their cost of productions. Also, given prices of the different goods, how do they choose to produce those the productions of which offer them maximized revenues? Just like both of them are working for the development of the Ford. This is the study of productions, or the study of producer behavior. When we formulate a set of standard relationship, like the greater the productivity of a factor, greater its employment, explaining the behavior of the producers or their productions decision, we call it the production theory. What is consumptions? Consumption is the steady behavior of human beings as a consumer or buyers of different goods and the services for the satisfaction of their wants. As consumer, people have limited means while their wants are unlimited. How do they allocate their given means or income to the purchase of different goods and services given in the market so that their satisfaction is maximized? This is the study of consumptions, or the study of consumer behavior. When we formulate a set of standard relationship between the price of goods and its purchase, explaining how consumers tend to behave, we call it the consumption theory. Let me start the distributions. You seeing that picture, that how they are distributing in among the market. Distribution, the gross domestic product among the factor of production in the form of rent, wage, salaries, interest, etc., known as the distributions. As you are the students, you are very interested in knowing about how income is distributed among those who have worked as agents of productions. Who are agents of productions? These are the owner of the factor of productions, known as the land, labor, capital and the entrepreneurship. A part of income generated will go to the owners of land in the form of rent. A part will go to the laborers in the form of wage. A part will go to the owners of capital in the form of interest. And a part will go to the entrepreneurs in the form of profit. The distributions of the income refer to the distribution of GDP among the owners of the factor productions, land, labor, capital and the entrepreneurs. What are the economic principles on the basis of income is distributed among owners of the factor of production, such as studies called the distribution of theory in economics. Beside these three major components of the economics also addresses such questions which are of the social significance, like questions of poverty, the questions of unemployment, the question of growth and with the social justice, and the question of the environmental degradations, which are linked to the various economic activities. Issues of the social significance or the collective significance are categorized as issues of the macroeconomics. These are distinct from the issue of microeconomics, which revolve around the problems or choice confronted by the microeconomics unit, like a household, a firm or an industry. The statistics that we will discuss on tomorrow. Statistics has the two rules, that is called the plural sense and the singular sense. Also, I will let you know that what is the statistics, what are the use of the statistics in our economics. That's all for the day. Thank you. Have a nice day.